Hello everybody, welcome back. This is Stefan playing Stellaris, and today we're going to continue on with episode 12 of our series of playing Tall on the Grand Admiral difficulty. So let's load up the save file and resume. So now the game has updated to 2.1.2, and I can make use of all the wide range of bug fixes present in the game, as well as the ability to finally rename my factions. So let's get to that. So I believe this characterizes the factions a bit more accurately. Peace, the Inquisition, hating all synths, and leave us alone because, yeah, that's the kind of party this is. Anyways, the main goal of the series is nearly complete. We are just about a decade off of completely finishing up this ring world, and once that's finished, it's going to give us an unimaginably large advantage over everyone else. And since there's nothing else to do after this, I'll probably end the series and start a new interesting idea. Overall, I wanted to end the series with defeating the Great Tempest, or some other endgame crisis, but due to the fact that the endgame crises are very, very far off, I don't think I'll get to that. So in the end, I'm just going to satisfy myself by going ahead and destroying some of these guardians. So we have the Great Wound, which is not really a guardian. This system, which I suspect houses the Ether Drake, which would be quite nice to defeat. And we have this system, which likely houses the Enigmatic Fortress. And as for this system, I don't know what's going on. It's probably one of those distant stars things, so I'll just kind of teleport my science ships around and check those out. Oh, I can just do that? So that's probably a new feature, being able to use experimental subspace navigation, because I don't remember that being a thing. But anyways, let's time-lapse ahead and check out those guardians. Alright, so our first science ship has arrived over in Throd, and we now know that Spectrum does house an Ether Drake, which is quite nice. What isn't nice is the fact that that system is quite a ways away, so that means that we'll probably only get the Ether Drake monument and not the hatchling or the armor, because it's just simply going to cost us way too much to claim that system. But good things don't happen to people who don't try, and so I'm going to build a construction ship anyway and just check out the cost, you know? And I'll also be sending Classes 1 over there. Anyways, we have an election because our leader has died. And from what I see, there isn't anyone particularly good, although this guy could be useful. Let's elect the militarist. The militarist in the pacifist empire. I mean, actually it might not be that bad, because the fact that we have an Elgate means that we skip over a lot of the territory, meaning that there aren't actually that many systems leading to Spectrum. And if we get expansion traditions up and running, we may get Reach for the Stars, and that may make getting Spectrum more affordable. The only bad thing that may happen if we try to take down the Ether Drake is that the Ixis Republic is pretty damn likely to declare war on us. And that is because they're pretty hostile, and our alliance with the Ukpanar Star Dynasty may not be that powerful. Also, we have an event. It appears as though the enigmatic cache is now done with its scan of Winter Algae and is seeking another target planet within our borders. Alright. Well, hopefully it brings something interesting. There's also a lot of generous folks in this galaxy. That's quite nice. Oh yeah, our fleet is finally here. We can now go ahead and charge at the Ether Drake. Why the hell not? The only thing is, we're going to need to claim that system as fast as possible, and that requires our construction ship to be within range. Alright, let's now move all these ships over to the border, and hopefully that's going to work out. I don't really know how much influence it'll take to claim Spectrum, but since we have a couple discounts, it may not be that much. So let's just hope and kill. Ether Drake encounter. This creature observed in the Spectrum system is unlike anything the Classes 1 has previously encountered. Highly aggressive and with destructive capabilities to match, It guards a planetoid that initial scans indicate is exceptionally resource-rich. I wonder if there is Ether Drake plushies out there. This thing looks awesome. I have to say, the animations for these Leviathans are pretty great. And, you know, even though the animations are great, it's not doing anything to save it. We have a battleship rushing ahead. It must be retarded. You know, I've actually seen this more than a couple times, so I wonder if there's anything wrong with the game. I might want to submit a bug report on that because this is not okay. Dragon Slayer. The formidable Ether Drake has been slain. The exceptional bravery of Admiral Calusa Fundus in the Classes 1 will not soon be forgotten. The planetoid the beast was guarded so jealously can now be safely exploited. Who knows what treasures the creature might have amassed over the eons? Commendable. This is probably a waste, because now Caecilia Fundatus, who is 98 years old, is also Dragon Slayer. So unless she doesn't die before the Psionic Ascension and we manage to get the Chosen One through the Shroud, that's gonna be a waste. But anyways, we also gained 300 influence, and I've actually completely forgotten about this, but that's really gonna help us out in claiming this system. We also have jump drives now, so we're unstoppable. Oof. Yeah, we don't have nearly enough influence for that. Shoot. Where can I get influence? I mean, I guess I can cause war and humiliate these guys, right? Perhaps there are star nations in this galaxy that are even more worthless than existing Citizen Republic. So, we have yet to meet them. That is a lie. We have met every single one. Hopefully this is gonna aggro them. Well, the good thing is, it's gonna take these guys quite some time to actually survey this system and even more time to claim it. So hopefully we should be able to claim Dragon's Horde, which is the most valuable planetoid in the entire game. So valuable, in fact, that it's gonna take us 800 influence to actually claim it, which is quite ridiculous. Maybe we can go ahead and kill some other Guardian. Also we have Arcturus with the Enigmatic Fortress in it. I don't remember if it gives influence or not. It may. However, the only bad thing is, if we try to get over there, it's gonna take our fleet a whole year. Although that may be worth it. Oh, is this just a system with... Oh, I know what happened. There were pirates in the system and they got cleared out. I see how it is. We can also now continue upgrading the ring world and start getting the last ring section up and running. Now the only thing that can stop us is a coordinated attack by multiple empires, which literally cannot happen because the only potential enemy is right over here, and they're equivalent to us. Now granted, trying to get a station up and running in the middle of the Ukupanar Star Dynasty is not going to be pleasing to them. However, we have about 200 opinion, so even if we get a -100, it's not really going to matter. Alright. Guaranteer entered war. The Citizen Republic has declared war on the Ukupanar Star Dynasty, whose independence we have guaranteed. Consequently, we are now at war with the Citizen Republic. They have quite a lot of ships, and our station is actually not that powerful. Unfortunately though, my fleet is over at Yaratsmot, and we're about to attack Arcturus. Looks like the enemy ships are moving to the Hanari system. Let's look that up. And what that means is that they're moving in the direction of my empire, which is quite unfortunate. Okay, never mind. These fleets have now turned around and are attacking Efrov. And Efrov is now within our empire, so we should be fine. In fact, I'm going to be cocky enough to go ahead and attack Arcturus, since we do have the time to do it. Now hopefully, my allies will be able to handle this just fine. And that is because most of the allied ships are actually in the region, so attacking the Citizen Republic is going to be a non-issue for them. But regardless, we're also engaged in conflict. Now this time, with the ancient structure, we have detected some kind of utterly massive space installation drifting quietly at the edge of the Arcturus system. Although preliminary scans show it to be very old, the structure has an intense power signature. Several smaller structures can be seen floating near the main installation, and all of them appear to be heavily armed. If we are to learn the true nature of this ancient relic, we will likely have to overpower its defenses through force of arms. That will not be easy, supposedly. We're probably gonna lose quite a few ships. Quite a few battleships. Alright. So, in the end, I believe that's a bad idea. And, we're gonna retreat. Because getting decimated to 13k fleet power that quickly, that's not good. And they still have a couple of their defensive platforms. So I'll just let that be for now. But regardless of what's going on with our fleets, we can now take another step in the right direction by claiming the Spectrum system. It's going to cost us pretty much all of our influence, 810 to be exact, and it's going to cost us diplomatically with these guys. Now, I don't know how AI responds to having territory just in the middle of their systems, so let's check that out. Wow, that actually did barely anything. We only gained a minus 23 to border friction. I'll take it. And this means that we're now able to claim the Dragon's Horde, get a very large boost to our energy and mineral production, and there are 2 events that may or may not pop up within the next 100 years. Now, there is a little fleet going to attack Evgamar. However, I need Evgamar to fall to my troops rather than theirs. And that is for the purpose of actually being able to claim the system after the war is over, if it is a status quo. Oh, that's actually pretty cool. So apparently the bonuses for mining guilds and fanatic pacifists actually do apply to these energy credit and mineral production. I never knew that. That's quite cool. Alright, let's see here. So, since we are in a defensive war, we can make claims, and since we do have some influence to spare, I'll do just that. We also have another election. 2 elections in 1 episode, eh? It actually seems that a lot of these guys have a fleet expansion agenda. That's quite interesting. However, we don't actually have the influence necessary to do this. So let's abstain and see who does it. Alright, that's actually not too bad. We get a total minus 10% ship upkeep. And since ship upkeep is our greatest expense, that's gonna be quite nice. Alright, so we have now occupied Volter Var, and that means that if a status quo is settled, this territory will belong to us. I do actually find it quite interesting that a fleet can actually continue to upgrade while engaged in combat. That means that strikes on an upgrading fleet will not actually do anything. Alrighty, now our fleet is up and upgraded, and we can go on and claim even more systems with it. In fact, I'm gonna go ahead and try to claim their capital world, the most interesting of all. It is also quite beneficial for me to go ahead and try to take on enemy ships, and that is to increase the rank of my own ships to become more experienced and maybe even veteran. And that'd be certainly nice. Ooh, there we go. Ring world completed. Our engineers and planetary ecologists today finished the last of the habitat sections on the ring world we built in the Felmer system. The construction of this great megastructure must be considered a milestone in the history of the Admirable Lithian League. We have accomplished what only a handful of civilizations in the history of our galaxy had managed before. Let this ring world stand forever as a testament to how much the Vizok species has achieved since we first ventured beyond the safety of our home world's atmosphere. Great day. Great day indeed. And now, the main goal of the series is pretty much complete. we have built a fully functioning ring world. And in just a year, we'll start colonizing, and in 2 more years, it'll be ours. There is truly no stopping us now. Plus, this empire will probably get absolutely destroyed, and once we take chunks out of its territory, it's not going to pose a threat any longer. In fact, if my allies are being smart and making claims, this part of their territory should be gone, and this part of the territory will be ours, leaving them with just a couple systems, after which they'll pose absolutely no threat. So with that, I think I'll actually finish this war and wrap up the episode. This will probably be a time lapse, since I doubt anything interesting will happen. Oh, damn you. You know, this is actually quite interesting. So the Fanatic Purifiers are neither the greatest threat to the galaxy or a minute little destroyed empire. It's just there. That's actually the first time I've seen that. Empires like this actually tend to like either overexpand or get completely wrecked. But this is not the case, and I'm quite surprised. The one thing I don't really understand is why ships stop bombarding when, like, troops get on the planet. I mean, these are extremely advanced ships with what are probably very advanced targeting systems. But I guess they're trying to be careful. What is quite nice is the fact that even though we didn't actually land any armies on this planet, the planet is considered to be occupied by us because we control the starbase. I've never actually seen what happens when you occupy all the systems and all the planets in an empire, and so we're going to be able to accomplish that in a short little while. Ooh, Ascension Theory, dang. We're going to get our next Ascension very soon. They also captured their last planet, right? This is the true last planet, right? Seems like it. Phew. So in the end, we have won our final war. The war to end all wars, as World War I was called. And unlike World War I, there ain't gonna be any more. Now granted, we could have a conflict with the Valkyrie Council, but the fact that they're in federation with someone that absolutely adores us is gonna mean that they're not gonna pose any threat. Now I kind of want to test something actually. Since experimental subspace navigation worked, let's see if jumps work. Shoot, they do work. However, I still cannot jump within the L cluster. I can jump outside of it, but not within it. And also I actually kind of want to check out if I can jump back in. So be back in 200 days. And actually I did not last 200 days. And I'm back with good news. The dragon's horde actually contains the dragon's blood. And I'm actually quite early with this. I believe the mean time to happen for this is about 50 or 100 years. And since we got this within like a decade, that's quite awesome. So we can incubate the little ether drake. Alright, so back to the jump. Yeah, it's finally recharged, and let's test out if it's gonna work. So let's see here. Nothing. Nothing at all. It doesn't work. Thank God. So this is actually quite cool. It means that you can escape the L cluster if you're in a dire situation and all your fleets are cornered and you need to make a final push. I actually want to check out if they buffed the Drake at all, and so I'm going to wait an additional 6 months and see what happens. Wow, that's literally the most boring message I've seen. The egg hatches. The dragon roars. Alright, so it seems that it is still quite weak. So what that means is that it's completely relegated to clearing out pirates, which is indeed quite unfortunate. Plus, unlike the Dreadnought, we can't actually assign a leader to this. Devs, please buff this stuff. Come on, this is way too underpowered. And so with that, I will end the run right here. The progression up to the late game is the most interesting and varied part of any Stellaris run, and after that, it just becomes kind of boring. I mean, you just build up more habitats and ring worlds and megastructures, and yeah, you can get into some wars with some endgame crises, But we're not going to have that for another 5 decades, and by that time the endgame crises will have absolutely no chance against us. In fact, for the next series, I'll be moving the endgame start year a lot earlier than what happened this time. And so that about does it. If this empire were to continue, it would certainly dominate the galaxy. So if you enjoyed this series, please leave a like, and if you haven't actually checked out the whole series, I would suggest you do so, because most of it is way more interesting than this episode. I would also suggest you stick around and follow the channel, because in the next couple of days, I'll be releasing the first episode of the next series. And this time, it's going to be even more interesting and even more challenging. I'll also be making a video on what I plan to do on the 500 sub mark, which is coming up very shortly. And right now I'm leaning towards a multiplayer game with all y'all. So yeah, more information to come when I actually hit that mark. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.